Stars of Adara. The email arrived just after midnight, lighting up the otherwise dark screen of my laptop. I was half asleep, scrolling through random articles and watching videos, all in an attempt to drown out the silence of my tiny apartment. It was routine, this nightly web crawl. Sometimes a drink helped with sleep, but I'd been putting off getting groceries, so there wasn't even that. Lately, I'd mostly been surviving off pizza and frozen dinners. The email was strange, an invitation, almost like a summons. A company was looking for volunteers to journey to a new planet. Opportunities for a fresh start, it claimed. I thought it was a scam at first, the kind of thing my aunt would warn me about. But something made me look closer. It had all the signs of legitimacy. There was a warning, too, bolded and underlined. Each volunteer would go into stasis for 30 years, and space was limited. Somehow that didn't stop me. What else did I have to lose? I was getting tired of the cramped, dingy apartment, the neighbors yelling at all hours, and the never-ending hum of city life. So I clicked yes. Leaving behind my old life was almost shockingly easy. The lease was broken with a hefty fee, which I paid without much of a wince, and I barely packed anything. Just the essentials and a few memories, all fitting into a single bag. And that's how I found myself among 200 other people, staring up at the vast metallic ceiling of a spaceship headed for Adara. The room was crowded and stifling, and a man in a suit was giving a grand speech from a platform at the center, extolling the virtues of exploration and courage. I tuned him out mostly. Eventually they started calling names, handing out spacesuits, and directing us to our pods. My turn finally came. Jensen Kai, they called, and I stepped up to the stage to get my suit, feeling hundreds of eyes on me. I hurried off stage, grateful when a crew member led me to my pod. It was surprisingly cozy, an oval capsule with a soft bed inside. I stepped out of sight to change into the suit, and caught my reflection in a mirror. I barely recognized myself. My once vibrant purple pixie cut had grown out to an unkempt, dull brown that hung limply at my shoulders. I shrugged. It didn't matter. This trip was about starting over, not clinging to old pieces of myself. I didn't try to meet anyone. There was nothing I needed to say. I lay back in my pod, closed my eyes, and waited as the gentle hum of the speakers counted down to stasis. Memories. I am 8 years old. It's raining, pounding against my bedroom window. My parents' shouting fills the air, louder than the thunder outside. My mother tries to hush my father, reminding him that I'm listening, but he doesn't stop. Within a year, my father will disappear from my life completely. I am 16, staring at the melting candles on my birthday cake. My mother's face is worn and tired, but she's smiling for me. I make a wish, eyes closed tightly, hoping for a change. I know deep down that my wish won't come true. I am 20. My roommate drags me to a bar she swears won't check our IDs. It's loud, crowded, and the air is thick with smoke and laughter. That's when I see her, tall and radiant, her dark hair cascading over her shoulders. She glances over and catches me staring. The butterflies in my stomach are instant, undeniable. I am 23. Liana and I are moving in together, stacking boxes in a tiny one-bedroom apartment. She beams at me, and I feel an overwhelming sense of joy. I can't remember feeling this happy in my entire life. She pulls me into a hug, and her scent, coconut and something citrusy, fills my senses. I am 26, standing in an ill-fitting suit at our wedding. Liana glows in her simple dress, an ethereal vision walking down the aisle. I feel like the luckiest person alive, like I'm finally complete. I am 30. The phone slips from my hand, hitting the floor with a thud. Liana's gone. A careless, reckless driver took her away from me in a single moment. I can't remember our last conversation. It was something mundane, something so ordinary. I sob harder than I ever have before, feeling like I'm drowning in regret and sorrow. The speakers bring me back to the present with a soft chime. The voice inside tells me we're nearing Adara. We have a few days to adjust, they say, before we disembark on our new world. My pod hisses open, and I sit up, blinking in the dim light of the ship's hull. All around me, people are stirring, stretching, blinking in confusion or excitement. Across the way, a woman with warm, friendly eyes waves. I wave back, feeling an unexpected flicker of something like hope. There's a new world waiting for us. I'm not sure if I'm ready, but maybe, just maybe, I'll find a reason to be. As I swung my legs over the side of the pod, my muscles felt heavy, stiff from the long stasis. Others around me were stretching and murmuring to one another, shaking off the fog of sleep. I took a deep breath, trying to clear my own head, to fully awaken to this reality. The woman from across the way, who'd waved earlier, was now walking over. She had a casual confidence, her steps light despite the grogginess everyone else seemed to feel. Up close, I could see her sandy blonde hair had loose waves that framed her face, and her dark eyes held an energy that was rare in this crowd of dazed travelers. "Hey there, welcome back to the land of the living," she said, her voice warm and easy. "I'm Riley." "Kai," I replied, offering a small smile. It felt strange to hear my voice after so long. I cleared my throat, hoping I sounded normal. "Looks like we made it." She nodded, glancing around at the room full of waking people. "Pretty wild, huh? I still can't believe it's actually happening." "Yeah," I replied, my eyes drifting to the huge panoramic windows at the far end of the room. Through the glass, I could see Adara, bathed in pale blues and greens, filling the view. It looked like a vast painting of forests and fields, with glimmering rivers winding through valleys, punctuated by ranges of jagged mountains. "Not what you expected?" Riley asked, following my gaze. I shrugged. Honestly, I didn't have any expectations. This was kind of a last-minute decision. "Ah, fellow escape artist," she said, grinning. She gestured to the small duffel I'd brought. "Your bag seems as empty as mine. Guess we both left our old lives behind." Her words struck a chord. I wanted to brush it off, keep things casual, but there was something genuine in her expression that made me feel oddly safe. Guess I wasn't exactly putting down roots. Not since. I hesitated, suddenly unsure if I wanted to share. But she didn't press me, and that silence somehow made it easier to speak. "Not since I lost my wife," I said, the words quiet but firm. Riley looked at me with that same open warmth, a flicker of sadness crossing her eyes. "I'm sorry. It must have taken a lot to come here then." "Yeah, I guess it did," I said, swallowing back the old ache. "I don't know why I'm here really, but this place, it's a chance to figure that out." Riley nodded. "I get it. I think a lot of us are here for that. To find something we lost, or maybe never found at all." She paused, glancing at the window. "Sometimes I think it's easy to feel small in a big world. I thought maybe I'd feel bigger on a different planet." I chuckled, surprised at her honesty. "Yeah, guess we've got a lot of space now. Maybe we'll find something, or someone new out there." She raised an eyebrow. "That sounds like a challenge." "Oh, it's a challenge," I said, grinning despite myself. "You up for it?" She laughed, her eyes bright. "You bet. I'm pretty good at finding what's worth holding on to." Just then, the speakers overhead crackled to life, the captain's voice filtering through the hall. "Good morning, pioneers. We're about to begin our final descent to Adara. Please make your way to the observation deck for landing protocols. And once again, welcome to your new home." We stood together as the room buzzed with excitement and anticipation. Riley flashed me a grin before heading off to the observation deck. I watched her go, a little surprised at the sudden lightness I felt. For the first time in years, I was moving forward, not away from something, but towards something unknown. As I joined the others, the giant windows revealed a closer view of Adara. Its landscape unfolded below us, vast and untouched, waiting. I didn't know what I'd find here, or even who I would become, but there was a quiet thrill in my chest now, a feeling I hadn't experienced in years. Maybe on this new planet, I'd find a way to truly live again.